Today's episode is sponsored by one of my favorite rap labels, Front Row Regale. Started by my good friend Rock City Mark, legendary rapper Ito, and Jay Rios, they are the go-to for real hip-hop. Make sure to check out the whole team, including DJ Doo-Wop, Jay Black, Nice to Future, Boo Boo the Prince, Reno RX, and Uwop Diggs. Follow Front Row Regale on all platforms and check out the new New York by Ito and DJ Doo-Wop out now.
Yeah.
I feel like Bic cornered the market on shit that gets stolen. They have pens and lighters. Like, that's such a good business plan.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how many lighters do you lose? Every single lighter.
Every time.
When I first started smoking, I'd always get the coolest lighter.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, someone's just going to steal it because it's a cool-ass lighter.
Yeah, no.
And pens, too. Bics make fucking pens.
Exactly. If they start doing chapstick, the world is over. You know what I mean?
That really is one of those stolen items. Yeah. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh,
I'm happy
dude, I've been so stoked to do it. And it's been a long time coming, you know? It's kind of waiting for you to get huge, you know?
You're like, mother, it didn't happen soon enough. I got this special drop. And I need to use it now.
I got to get the promo wheel going.
Yeah, but your shit's more professional looking than my shit. I just saw a clip and that shit looks fantastic.
Yeah, I 3-camera shoot, sold out room. I was on point. It was obviously I want the world to see it, but even the experience was off the charts. You know.
How do you prepare for something like that?
I just got up more than ever. Like, I got up at least 6 times a week for several months. And I brought in. I had a meeting with my friend Gary Peterson and kind of just went through the stuff that was borderline, where I was like, this gets pops, but like, how do I make this a better, more well-rounded joke? And he gave me his thoughts, a few tags. Rob Crean, another person that gave me a few tags. And then I just tried to rehearse that stuff to where it was like autopilot. I don't know about you. I don't like to think on stage.
Yeah.
I just want to be like firing.
Yeah, when I asked you how to prepare, like, that's cool to hear, but I also meant like right beforehand, like day of. Because when I go do shit, I almost want to be like not thinking about it the day of. Like, I want to be like a normal mental state.
I was a wreck, honestly. I was a total wreck.
Why? You just thought it was not going to go well?
I didn't think anyone would show up. What if my jokes aren't funny? Like, I go into like serious self-loathing. Yeah. And I feel like I look and sound very confident when I'm on stage. I know I do. But the build up, they gave me the green room downstairs. And I was just sitting there like shaking. Like, some of that is my body excitement and nervousness kind of feel the same. And like midway, it's not a big club, but it was so packed that you couldn't walk through. It was the biggest crowd they've ever had there. I think, not to get them in trouble, but I think they went like 5 people past the fire code.
I don't think I have many firemen listening to this podcast.
DJ Fireman is going to, MC Fireman's going to mumble rap me way out of the business.
Snitch on, snitch and fireman not listening.
He's a snitch, that one.
So you packed it out.
Yeah. And, you know, I got a lot of, I was in the Globe. I was in the Dig. I was in Vanderland Comedy, put me above Joe List, which was, you know, crazy. Yeah. You know, it was like one of those, like, the whole thing feels like a fever dream, which is why I'm really excited for the world to see it. and hopefully they do, because a lot of work went into it, and I couldn't have been more happy with the final result. You know,
I think that's the like fight of the comedian is when you're a comedian, you have to be like confident on stage.
Sure.
Even the most nervous comedian up there is still confident, like
absolutely
purposefully nervous,
Sure.
not like a fucking nervous wreck, but is confident. But really, it's all we're just trying to create the persona we want. We're all like nervous wrecks.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, it's like think about someone like Stephen Wright that just looks like he's having a panic attack, but is as confident as it gets, you know, and an all-time great in my mind, at least, you know.
Do you have a bomb that you think about, like, I don't, like when you were nervous that you were going to bomb, like that it wasn't going to go well? Do you have like a worst show that you go to that you're like, I don't want it to be that?
Yeah, the only time I did the George, which is a really good room.
Hey, speaking of the George, I'm headlining the George June 2nd.
Yeah. Well, maybe I shouldn't tell you the story.
I want to hear it.
It was me and Jackie and Ryan Shea and another Providence comic. I can't remember. But I was second. And I've always done really well in Providence, maybe even better than Boston. And I mean, I was scared. I wasn't scared initially, but I could just see it was like not going well. And then, you know, Providence audiences are pretty yappy.
Yeah.
Especially that room. They were getting real yappy, and usually I can shut them down or like bounce off of that. I had nothing. And it was weird because in my mind I was just searching, like, find the something that clicks, find something that clips. And I was just like, you know, like if you're in the middle of the ocean and you're trying not to drown, like, and I was just going deeper and deeper and deeper. And it stung. And then Tyler Durniak's birthday party was at Encore that night. And I was just so sad. and, you know, it's like, there's sad where it's like, how you doing, man? Oh, you know, pretty good. You know, it's like you can kind of fake it. I couldn't even fake it. And then I lost money. You know, it's just like, like walking home.
I can't gamble. If I lose, like I lost $100 once at Mohegan Sun, and I was like, never again. Never again. Like the amount it wrecked me.
Yeah, no, I love
to top of a bomb.
Oh yeah, no, it was Pain City. Like I didn't know what to do, and it stuck with me. The other thing too is like just sadness and whatever. Typically, it's 24 hours for me. For 3-4 days, I was just like, what am I, you know, this is the classic comedy question. What am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
Like, I literally am killing myself. And to ever eat shit that bad in a full room, you know, every other comic killed, you know. It wasn't like one of those deals either where you could be like, well, everyone bombed. It was like everyone killed.
Yeah, and then you're just having that. That's so funny that it was just, there was no reason for it. It was
I had an off night and just fucking, you know.
I thought it was going to be some like crazy shit happened in the audience, you know? Like, I've had like drinks thrown at me.
Yeah. I did do another gig. It was the first feature I did. I think it was 20 minutes, and it was an all German audience by Harvard. And they all had suits on and literally just crossed arms stared at me for 20 minutes. And I just listened to Sebastian Maniscalco, whatever that kid's name is, talk about doing time. He was featuring for Dice, and he did 15 minutes when he was supposed to do 20 because he bombed. And Dice just laid into him, and he was like, Dice was being a dick, but at the same time, if you're doing 20, you do 20, you know?
Yeah.
I've since kind of wavered on that. Like, you know, like
I was about to say, I was headlining a show up in Maine, and already my audience is not like rural Maine. You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna like me talking about rap stories.
Right.
And, like, so I walk in and there's a sign on the door, and I'm walking with a friend, and it says "No Club Colors."
Wow.
And I was like, what? Like, what's that? Are there like Bloods and Crips up here? Because I was like, I might feel at home.
Yeah.
Like, I might be able to relate. And they're like, no, it's like biker gangs.
Oh,
like, no
wow.
biker gang colors.
And what are their colors? Do they have red? I guess you don't know, but red and blue is where your colors end, I guess.
I would love a super straight biker gang to take back the rainbow.
Yeah, right?
Like, I don't know what
ours now.
I don't know what the club colors are. So I go in and I'm supposed to do 30. I'm closing out the show. So I hit like 5 minutes and these guys start yelling at me.
Yeah.
All because I had a wrapper on my shirt.
Oh, wow.
And they didn't like that.
Wow.
And at one point, I even was like, bless you. I said, you know that most like rappers are conservative, right? And one guy yells, they're still black, which I was like,
wow.
That was a show that I had to get off the stage early.
Yeah, I get that.
I was like, there's sometimes you have to get off the stage early.
No, you don't want to catch a haymaker or...
Oh my God. This one guy kept heckling, but he kept saying really gay stuff. But he was trying to be like tough.
Right.
So he's like, I bet you wouldn't be saying that when you were sucking my dick. And
it's that prison, like, I'll own your a-hole type shit.
Have you ever been to prison or jail?
I haven't. I was in a holding thing once. The drunk tank, they call it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And it sucked. I mean, certainly no. Even just being in a room where the toilet doesn't have a seat is. Yeah.
And you're shitting in front of everyone.
Oh,
right?
yeah. There's no
Did you
privacy.
have to take a shit while you were?
Well, no. I was like, they handcuffed me up. Which seems like that would be some sort of...
They John McCain?
yeah, right? Poke me with a stick. Yeah, no, they had me with one arm up for like 8 hours or something. And when that drops, it's crazy how bad your arm hurts.
Oh, yeah.
From just hanging.
Yeah.
And the wrist, because it's like the cuff.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. I mean, it's possible. There's this outside chance that
you might have been a little
I'm a little bit lippy at the time. I kind of get full of myself sometimes.
You're doing jokes and shit.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God. One time, I don't think I've ever told this story on the podcast.
Right.
So I was doing a show in Long Island. And I was staying at the La Quinta Inn in Long Island. So, what do I usually do when I'm at hotels?
Beat off.
One, I already did that for the day.
Oh.
Go smoke weed in my car. I don't want to pay the smoking fee in the room, so I'm going to go smoke in my car. So I'm smoking in my car, which I've done in every hotel I've ever stayed at. And this car pulls up behind me and blocks me in. I think I'm about to get robbed. What the fuck's happening? And then two dudes hop out and run on over to either side of me.
My God.
So I'm rolling another joint. So I drop the weed in between my legs and try to go to back out. And the dude opens the door and pulls me out. I'm like, what the fuck? They were undercover cops.
What?
Bro, I was like, I'm smoking. They're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what the fuck's going on? And they were like, you were reaching for a gun. Like when I dropped my weed.
Oh, my God.
They were like, he's reaching for a gun so we can search his shit. So they pull me out of the car. They're searching me. They're searching my car. They're rifling through shit. And they're not allowed to be doing that. So finally they're like, so what are you doing here? I'm like, I have a show tomorrow night. I'm a comedian.
I'm at a hotel. I could be doing a billion.
What the fuck? And they're like, well, maybe you have a funny story about this to say in your act. I was like, no, this is just traumatizing.
Like my uncle. Let me give you a story about beating the fuck out of you.
It was not. That was the.
Yeah, I remember one time I was going to a rave. I used to go to raves a lot.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I was a big rave kid, like late teens.
Take ecstasy and shit.
Yeah, I was more like, there's just like chicks. I
liked the community.
Yeah, and just like a fun group of women. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they're all on ecstasy.
They're really looking for a good time. You know. After a couple of tabs, this face is pretty fucking worthy. So we went to this rave, and we would just hang outside of a liquor store, and everyone that walked in, hey, I forgot my ID. Could you go buy us fucking a 6-pack or whatever? Never got in trouble for that, strangely. Like,
were you tall?
Yeah,
but you had a baby face, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Zits. You know what I mean? Like,
could you please give me a 6-pack?
Like a white Steve Urkel.
You look
you
like
know what
two
I mean?
kids in a trench coat.
Right. Like a Scooby-Doo situation.
Yeah.
So we go to the rave. We party all night. I'm hammered. Pardon me. I find a buddy whose younger brother is 15 and has a driver's permit. Like, can't legally drive, but with an 18 plus driver can. So we're heading back from Fayetteville to where I lived. Probably like a 30-minute drive the whole way. For some reason, as we're getting home, I'm like, well, I'll get this like German style, like 64-ounce cup and just fill it with beer in the car. Like, instead of drinking it out of the can, any number of things, waiting till I got home. So I'm sitting in the back with my cousin, and we turn the corner and blue lights, and it's like, fuck. So my buddy, instead of stopping, slams on the brakes, and I just throw 64 ounces of beer all over the car.
Oh, no. Which the smell doesn't.
Oh, dude, and beer. Like, it could even be, like, if it was Truly, say, or something, is like, you know, not near as strong.
Is Truly sponsoring your?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah,
I wish they would.
You dropped that name hard.
Yeah, right. No, I'm looking out for the pods right now. I like. Truly is going to be your new guy. But yeah, they pulled us out. We had a bunch of vodka in the back, and they threw the bottle down. It shattered, and he made me pick it up, and I was just like. Small town cops, dude. I know, like, obviously big city cops in general, but small town cops there's too many of them because, like, white people want to feel safe.
Yeah.
And so they're bored.
Oh, yeah.
And so they have to, like, they get all aggro, and, like, especially when you're a teenager in, like, rural Arkansas, it's like, you know, you take a lot of shit. You know,
yeah.
And I was listening to "Fuck the Police," but
that's so funny. Yeah, the small town police. I shouldn't have been littering once. But
yeah,
I got in a fight. This was with an ex a long time ago, and I was like using tissues and throwing them out the window. Let me get out and pick up all the tissues.
Oh my god!
I'm like sobbing. I had a friend, who was vegan. And he used to have a shirt that said ACAB, all cows are bad. And I never knew what ACAB meant. So I always thought it meant like all cows are bad. I always thought it was a vegan thing. So then I would when I started like hearing it out, I'd be like, this dude's a vegan? Like, he doesn't really seem like a vegan.
Why are all the bucked up podcasts talking about ACAB?
But now I understand. Growing up in Arkansas, small town.
Yeah. Oh, I lived in Nebraska, Missouri. I actually lived in Branson, Missouri. I don't know if you know that town.
Yeah, my dad lived in Branson, Missouri.
Was he a musician?
He was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a great place for, like, if you're willing to sell your soul.
Yeah, with a band, Small Ball Paul.
That sounds like a Branson, Missouri band. Yeah, no, it's like kind of for those of you who don't know, it's kind of Nashville Part 2, except no budding talent. It's like where you go when your career is dying. Oh. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're just selling out theaters like 6 shows a week, like crazy money. And then you don't have to tour. So I'm sure there's advantages, but it is a bumpkin town. Like, it has none of, like, Nashville has like at least a little bit of an underground scene and like art and none of that. But yeah, it was weird. I knew I was a big city kid the whole time. This was, I was interested. I'm all set. Thank you. Interested about you is, because of the nature of your podcast, you would assume you were fucking from a large city. Mm-hmm. But in fact, you're a bumpkin.
Yeah, I was born on Cape, and I lived in like Pepperell, Mass, which is the woods.
Right.
But then in 8th grade, I moved to Fitchburg, Mass, and Lowell, Mass, which are both grimy ass cities.
Yeah, no, that is.
But they're smaller cities. But I don't know. The rap thing always was. Like, I always wanted to be a comedian, but rap was, like, never wanting to rap, but rap was always there. Like, that was the music my parents played me, like. That's
crazy.
Yeah.
Because for me, I was, in this, I'm an old dude, like, NWA, The Chronic, Dr. Dre, Snoop, Tupac, Eric B. and Rakim, like, for me, that was like my dirty little secret from my parents because it was, even just like cursing for my family. It's weird that you've seen me tell jokes.
That makes sense.
I'm not like a filthy comic, but I definitely use, George Carlin's 7 words pretty frequently. But yeah, at the time it was that's why it was exciting to me, is because it was forbidden, and listening to like those tracks, I was an angry fucking kid, and those songs were fucking angry,
Yeah.
Also why I applied to, to metal and punk later.
It's so funny how different people, like with hip hop for me, like especially with this podcast, I like that I can meet my favorite rappers, who some of are the most gangster rappers out right now. And they're just like me.
Sure.
Like
stoned.
For real though, like that's so, but everyone is like, if you connect with something, you connect with it for a reason.
Sure.
And I don't know what that reason is. Right? Like, you don't know why. Like, do you know why you're a comedian? Like, can you pinpoint the moment? Yeah. What is yours?
We did a trip to Florida, and I had like a cheesy tape recorder. I was like 7. And I just rolled tape in the back of the van where no one could hear me. And when we got there, we played the tape and people were laughing. Like my family members, it wasn't, and probably a very friendly audience, but I was like, it is fun to make people laugh. Like, and I think whatever, on some level I'm gifted, maybe. I don't know. I've worked my ass off, but I think that early on that got me a lot of joy, and was like, this is something that I want to do. It just didn't seem real until my failed music career where I was like, oh, like people are making money in the entertainment industry. It's not just like, you know, Seinfeld and Larry the Cable Guy that are like making money. There's like a lot of headliners that are doing all right, that you wouldn't know, that I wouldn't even know maybe. And I'm balls deep into comedy, you know, it's crazy. But yeah, I think that was the first moment, is that trip to Florida where I was like, you know, it was like Johnny Carson interviewing.
Why do you think you chose music then, like first?
Good question. I was, this is me bragging about everything I'm good at. Notice sex.
You're trying to sell yourself for for them to watch your special.
Okay,
you gotta brag about yourself.
Okay. Well, just don't bring up sex and I'll continually talk good about myself. I think it just was the avenue. You know, it's like, obviously we're all controlling, manifesting our own destinies and whatnot, but it just kind of was the path that naturally happened. It was like, I wanted to perform. My friends had a band. They were going to do this Battle of the Bands. And I had just coming into like a little money, like $50 from work or something. And I was like, hey, if I pay for the entry to this Battle of the Bands, would you guys let me sing for you? So we did the Battle of the Bands. All these people came, you know, it's like when you're 18 and doing shows, it's like you have friends from fucking 9,000 people show up and you suck, you know?
Yeah.
And we won. And then 3 days later, they came to my house with $50 and they were like, we're going to go with a different singer for the next round.
Really?
And so I was like, that was a defining moment.
They could have just broke up with you,
yeah,
but they also gave you the money back.
Yeah. Well, I to be fair, I think that was a kind thing to do, because I was out that $50, but it put a fire in me, like, I will show the world. And then I just I had come from a very musical family, and kind of fell into like a really, really good band. We were a ska punk band in Arkansas in the, you know, late 90s. It was like, I mean, you want to talk about kids coming out. It was like, we were the only ska band in town, and it was the pinnacle of, you know, third wave ska being big, Less Than Jake, Real Big Fish, on and on and on. And then that was over, and I was like, I don't want this to be over. And I was like, I bet I could go to college for music. And my buddy was like, you should go to Berkeley, not that you'll ever get in. And again, spite, the motivator. Don't fucking tell me what I can and cannot do. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, and then I applied and got into Berkeley, and then started another band with a guy that later, Cricky Thomas, recorded my special.
Oh, that's who you were. You were telling, yeah.
So it's like, life is you know, a lot of fucking bumps in the road, but there's those cool things where it's almost like you know, self-fulfilling prophecies, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know, and like, look at you, man. I mean, like, you know, like, how badly did Boston comedy bust your balls? Seriously.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
you fucking took some shit.
I went through the ringer, but it's all worth it.
But look at you now. I mean, no one would do that.
Look at me now in the garage.
He's all grown up. He's out of his mom's house, everybody.
Into her garage.
Into her garage. Seriously, though.
No,
like,
for real, though. But I think that's everything in life is kind of, that's worth it. You have to go through some shit, because you don't remember the shit.
No.
Like, you say that and I can be like, yeah, I did. But I also can remember all the cool shit that, like, I've been able to do that others haven't because they took their time talking shit instead of, like, doing it.
I was advising, I don't ever advise comics. Proof by this story where I was advising a comic. That would be three things. Get up every second you can. Learn how to quickly take out the mic stand and move the stand behind you, or leave it in the stand. Don't ever have you, the stand, and then the crowd. And then the third thing is everyone, the mistake I see over and over, and am guilty of it too, by the way. Anytime I think about like, oh, this person is doing this, why am I not doing this? Where were they 5 years ago? Blah, blah, blah. That's times I could be like working on my craft, improving like, my products, like, why don't I have an all my links, or, you know what I mean? Like there's shit like that where it's like, that would take fucking 30 minutes, you know?
And it sucks because you learn procrastination in school because you don't care about the stuff.
Yes.
But then procrastination becomes a real thing where, like, if I think, man, I should really change the bio for my podcast, I have the time to do it right now.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of have to do the shit the moment you think about it.
Yeah.
Or it's just going to be added on a pile of shit that you've said you're going to do later. And that pile's going to get bigger and bigger for the rest of your life. And then none of it's going to get done if you don't do that shit right then.
Yeah. Wow, this is becoming a dad podcast. I love it. Listen up, kids. You got to get some gumption.
No, my podcast bio has never changed from a self-help podcast from someone who doesn't know what the buck he's doing. Like, it's dumb, but I've never changed that because look at what I'm doing. I'm in a garage recording with you on a webcam.
Yeah.
But some people have 4K cameras and don't get the listens. It's just, you have to just do it. It doesn't matter the means. It doesn't matter anything other than you doing it.
Yeah.
You doing a special. When you started, you're like, how does someone get a special?
Yeah.
You fucking do it.
Yeah.
Or like everyone big just makes enough money that they can fund their own project.
Sure.
You just have to fund your own project.
Which is what I did on an incredibly minute level.
Yeah.
But the product, I really, I hope the world watch the special, The Spoons on YouTube. I hope the world sees it. It is. I think about it too, like with music. I was in a writing participant at very least on 9 records, and I can listen to those records. No one gives a fuck about those records. They're like, not even then, but I can look back on those records and be like, man, that's some hot shit. That, and even listen to, like, occasionally I'll listen to me and Jackie, Tiny Hall's podcast, and like, there was we're edited, granted, but there was moments we were just fucking in each other's brain, like crazy connected, like podcast. I don't know if that sounds weird, but
no, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And I'll have those forever, and like, there's a point where anything blows up. This is a project where you kind of fucking hate it. Like, I didn't listen to music for years after I stopped playing it. But then time goes by and you like look back on it fondly. And like you were saying earlier, like you kind of forget about like, oh, there was that point in the band where we pulled the bus over and we were about to start throwing haymakers in the middle of fucking Arkansas. Like, what I mean? Or wherever, but you forget about that. And then you just listen to why you guys were together in the first place, or what in the case of my special, why did I start comedy ever? It's a cool thing. I suggest people do it.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter. how good it is when you start, because it's just the journey of it.
Yeah.
If music was really supposed to be your thing, you wouldn't have stopped.
Yeah.
You know?
Agreed.
And that's what brought you to comedy, which keeps you going, which now brings you to the special, which when you started didn't seem possible.
I couldn't imagine it. It doesn't seem real still.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No, it's easy to sound fake when you're being gracious, but just the amount of people that came out, and I know there's fucking much bigger rooms, but for me, like having what felt like a punk rock venue, there was like 10 seats and 100 people, so like it was like a punk rock show. Everyone was standing the whole set. Everyone was like elbow to asshole tight. Like, it's crazy the lack of space. And I'm just so grateful for that. I'm kind of baked, and I just fucking. But
what was I'll change subjects.
Yeah.
What was the first joke that you had written that's on the special?
The first joke on the special is 4 years old, pre-pandemic, certainly. Yeah. And, I like it, because it's, 45 seconds, and I've got some longer things, some more stories, but I kind of wanted just like something, even for my own stability, like, cause like I said, I was terrified that it wouldn't go well. Just get something that first, 30 seconds to where it's like, I'm sure you may or may not feel this way, but like, I'm really excited and then a little bit nervous as I'm walking up. And then once that first pop settles in.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard someone say this once, and I forget who, but that we live, like, when you're on stage, like, you live 3 seconds
Yes,
ahead of time. And that's how you can, like, think of things, and that's how you kind of know how to move an audience.
Yeah.
People don't understand that that's really what comedy is.
Yeah.
It's like the audience is the instrument.
Yeah.
You kind of have to, like...
Yeah.
It's not just saying what you want. It's like gauging how they're listening to you talking.
No, I was telling my buddy Hans, who's an excellent bass player in Somerville.
Is that why his nickname's Hans?
Yeah, I guess so. I've never caught him in the bathroom or anything, but,
You've walked by, though.
Yeah, I was checked. I follow him sometimes, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I was like, that's the difference. Like, we can't, comedians can't practice alone. Like, you have to be in front of an audience, and it can suck because like I go to the same mic, so these poor people are watching me work through something 6 days in a row or whatever it is, or 3 times that week, or but it's it's a necessary thing. And it's also just the act of being on stage is practice too.
Yeah. Yeah, because like when you start, like when I started, I would go to mics that had like 2 people in it.
Yeah.
And I still get the same benefit of that. Sure. Because you just learn. You just learn how to.
Yeah.
You can't make 2 people laugh. It's kind of like podcasting. Like I used to get mad when I would get like not a lot of listens,
Ditto.
But 20 people at a show is crazy. I did open mics in front of 2 people,
I typically do in the last 3.
I'm Stone 2, shout out Infused Products.
Yeah.
That's the weed sponsor.
Nice.
Infused Productions on Instagram, just spelled out with a Z instead of an S.
Hell yeah. Yeah. This is good. I don't know. Is Infused the paper? Is it the flour? Is it the wax?
So
Who made the PCP that's on that?
I did. I made the PCP.
That's homegrown. That's Buck PC.
Yeah, this garage is a podcast studio by day, something else by night. No, so I roll up what I call donuts, which is flour with wax in the middle. So when it burns, it looks like a donut because the wax burns faster.
Wow.
And both the weed and the dabs are from infused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I use raw paper.
Okay.
I don't smoke blunts or anything.
I never could get into the blunts.
But you smoke cigarettes, so that's surprising.
I know. It's crazy. But there's something about the harshness of the tobacco paper for some reason. I don't know.
I haven't smoked tobacco in like 4 years, but I love how you look down at it. But I'm saying I love when people smoke around me because it's like I get to enjoy the smell, but I still wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was talking about quitting smoking last night. Actually, I quit for a couple months, and then I went on tour and just slowly crept back in. But my dad told me, he was like, after 2 weeks, you won't even think about it. Such bullshit. I thought about it every hour, all day, every day for that entire time.
How long have you been smoking?
First started when I was 18, and then not like full serious smoker till I was early 20s. So like 22 years, like the problematic area of smoking is quickly approaching. Oh.
You're just like, but some people smoke, like you see those videos of like 90-year-olds. I had to stop because when I ran, I would like spit black shit.
Oh yeah. No,
I feel like a vegan. I feel like I'm a vegan telling you to quit meat.
Good luck with either of those.
You know what I'm like, come on. No. It's better for your system.
Oh, yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
No.
People try to trick, because they know I just smoke weed, they try to trick me into smoking tobacco.
Oh, like with spliffs?
Yeah, and they're like, no, there's nothing in here, but I'll smell it. Like, I know.
Do you smoke blunts ever?
Never.
So, like, no years. Tobacco enters your system.
No nicotine, no vaping.
Have you ever dipped?
Never dipped.
You want to talk about...
But I used to smoke tobacco heavy. I'm just 4 years clean.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah. I used to smoke 10 blunts a day. I used to vape a fucking full carton in a day.
Is this when you were like a thicker boy?
No, I was thinner.
Oh, okay.
I'm at the thickest I've been in my life right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I just wear hoodies so I hide it. Like, what's your pant size?
Actually, I just went down a pant size.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
What is it, like 32?
56. No, 36.
Okay, see, I'm a 46.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's like a sandwich.
Take off your clothes right fucking now. I want to see what's doing.
In the garage.
Get in your underwear right now.
I just wear baggy clothes. I hate when I see people wear tight clothes that shouldn't, because I'm like, you would look so much better.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a weird era for someone my age, because it's like you start to feel the generational gap. But there was no such thing as body positivity when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, and there's a huge downside to that, of course. Yeah. But sometimes people wear clothes, me included, where it's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like,
all the clothes I wear, like, what are you doing?
You walk around in a muumuu like an adult.
I remember my grandmother once wrote me a letter, because I used to live with her. So I went out one night and she typed up a letter and then printed it out and signed it and put it on my bed.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, You need to change your clothes. I don't like, she was like, the hoodie you were wearing tonight, I will pay for it if I can go destroy it. Like, totally serious. She typed it and then printed it and signed it. And I was like, that's the funniest shit ever.
So I had white dreadlocks at one point in my life.
Did you?
I did.
Wait, so you had dreadlocks and you dyed them white?
No, like white boy dreadlocks, where it's like.
I thought you meant you looked like a fucking.
No, like
like
shitty.
an albino.
My band called them shitlocks. I mean, they were terrible. So I grew them, and what happened is like one big one happened.
Oh no!
And then all these little, just like 3 hair dreadlocks of like this thin white boy hair. I grew it out and out and out. And one day my mom was like, Aaron, if I paid you $100, would you cut off your dreadlocks? And I was like, let's go right now.
You were like, I'm going to cut them anyway.
I hate these.
Did they smell?
Oh, they stunk so bad.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
it was terrible.
That's what ska does to you.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Yeah, no, it was a really bad look, and I had glasses at the time, so like I got my hair cut and LASIK to where I could see, and my glasses were fucking all bent up, and like, you know, I was living.
Was there like holes in your hair for when the
Yeah.
glasses would fit?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Legos. It clicks into place.
I wish they were. I don't know how. I've seen, I don't know, people with very straight hair that somehow can pull off dreadlocks, but I just.
Looking back, why did you get dreadlocks?
I mean, my band was. I thought it would be cool. I was a drummer at the time, like full time. I was teaching lessons and gigging, and that's it. This is right before Berkeley. Best I've ever been, actually. It was doing that, even better than going to Berkeley. But I just thought it'd be cool, I think, to like headbang, play drums.
Did you see other white people with dreadlocks?
Oh,
You're
yeah,
like, That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, all right.
Did you hacky sack too?
No.
Okay.
I wore a drug rug or whatever those are called. Oh. No, it was. I don't know. Was that?
I am not sure.
Okay.
As I said, we are in a garage.
Yeah. No, this is a very Boston move.
It very much was. I want to go back to if you thought it was a good idea or not.
No, it was a terrible idea. It looked like shit. No one thought it was cool. Not even me. It was the smell was just, oh my God, just awful. And I think that's one reason I'm bald now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think there was some sort of parasite that just leashed in, like the alien that pops out of the stomach. Like,
how long did it take?
Years, probably 2 years.
So they let you into Berkeley with dreadlocks.
No, I cut them off.
I was about to be like, you were really good. I was about to be like, Tiny, I believe you. You were amazing.
Right. No, again, they were the worst. Even for white boy dreadlocks, they were bad dreadlocks and stinky.
Because you can't wash it, right?
No.
For years. Did you have
is
to wear like a grandma like cover up in the shower?
No. Like I got it wet. It was a dry shampoo I would use, but I think that was like, you know, bullshit. It was just like baby powder or something. You know what I mean? Not really.
It just looked like dandruff.
Yeah, exactly. It made them smell worse in hindsight.
And you cut them off for $100.
$100 is a lot of money to me. At the time, it was even more. Like that, I was like, Are you kidding me? I'll think of all the macaroni and cheese I can buy. I was like so broke at the time.
And now you have a special coming.
Yes.
The spoons.
The spoons. Yeah, it's how do you get do you just my friend suggested this. I'm gonna not say her name actually, but that I should reach out to like not Bill Burr or anything, but like say Zach Galifianakis, bad person, someone that's like big in the industry, like has a Hollywood quality name, and be like, hey, if I don't have the money to do it, but like say, hey, if I gave you $2,000, would you put this on your social media? Like, is that a dick move?
I would say a better move would be buying space on podcasts you like. No, I'm not saying, trust me, I know you don't listen to this one, but honestly, like if there's one that you listen to, like,
Yeah.
just buy the ad space for it.
Sure.
And then promote it, because you know that those people's senses of humor are
Right.
the same as yours.
Come town. No, I can't. I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts. I love Stern. Oh my God. Makes me feel old though now. It's
Yeah,
weird.
it's about to be like My Dad Loves House.
Yeah.
Which was just the original podcast.
Yeah. And the original reality show.
Yeah.
Because it was, this thing actually happening, real people being quote unquote real, and bigger versions of themselves, and then putting it on the E channel,
Yeah. And he just signed some crazy deal. He makes crazy money.
Yeah. I can't remember the amount per second it is, but it is.
Do you pay for SiriusXM?
Yes. That is one avenue that I hope happens is I have a contact at SiriusXM, and I'm going to be sending them clips. And, I don't really know how much that really means. Like, I don't know that people listen to Raw Dog. Like does it have, 20,000 listeners, unique views in a year? Probably not. I don't know.
I used to listen to it as a kid.
Oh, did you? Mm-hmm. Maybe it's bigger than I know, but that'd be cool if I got that. Because, even just like as heard on Sirius XM is, another thing,
It's going to be dope either way. It's going to be dope.
Oh, yeah. No, and people are really genuinely excited. Like, it is something I've, was amazed by really all of the people that I think of being as big Boston comics, practically all of them reached out to me. And people that I don't talk to. And not that we're not cool. I just don't reach out. They don't reach out. Wishing me good luck, congratulating me. Special is a good thing because it is special to think how well this came out. And I really think people are going to fucking love it.
Where can people find it?
It's going to be on YouTube. My page is at Tiny Punk Rock Comedy.
Dope. I'll tag it below.
Sick. Yeah. No, it's cool. It's a 3-camera shoot, full room, funny jokes. Around short of 44 minutes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This was dope as hell. Thank you so much.
I had a blast. You know what's great about a conversation is we both have the gift of gab.
So much we got yelled at.
Right? I'm sorry you got evicted, by the way. You can do this next podcast with some rapper I've never heard of in my basement if you'd like.
I got to pack up and go. All right. Thank you, bro.
Thanks, man.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. Hey,